Hi, I'm Julie Neckley, and this is a quick video on remedies for your house of marriage. So, the house of marriage is one of the most problematic houses in your astrology chart because one, it's directly opposite the house of self. So anything that happens in your house of marriage has a bam impact right away on yourself. The second thing that makes it so it's like it impacts you more than other houses impact you. Not every house has the same impact. Another thing that makes your house of marriage troubling is it's a place where you have to source your needs from other people. Like, there's no way that you can just jerk off rather than have sex with this house. You can't jerk off. It has to be another person. That's what the whole house is about. It's a place where we have to get our needs met through being in partnership with another person. So other people are not replaceable. We can't work around them. In this house, we have to actually be in relationships. And so that makes things more challenging and out of our control. Just like with the 8th house of sex and death. The 7th house is also out of our control. So if you have troubling planets in this house, either in your birth chart or maybe you don't, but then you're having a transit where a really troubling planet is going to be in this house for maybe 7 years or 14 years, 20 years sometimes. So what are you supposed to do? And really any planet in this house can cause trouble, just because any planet is going to represent a really strong need that you're going to want to get met through your relationship. And so obviously that can cause problems because other people aren't always going to be able to meet that need. So what can you do? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here's what you can do is when you have a planet in your birth chart in this house, or you're having a transit, what you need to do is you need to build like basically a lightning rod or an outlet. Like if you consider this house like a pressure cooker and the planet in the house is the steam, you need to create a hole through which that steam can get out so that it doesn't ruin your marriage if you have one, or even wreak havoc on yourself. So depending on which planets are in this house in birth chart or through transit, you want to build other relationships into your life, which will give you a way to express that energy in relationships without all of that energy having to be channeled directly through your marriage or your primary partnership. So here are some examples. Like the sun. If you have the sun in your house, and that's not usually that bad of one, but you would want to be friends with your dad if possible, father figures, or performers. You could even do like performance-oriented things just as a way of meeting people, just to get that energy that you're going to need. And when it's going through your house, your 7th house through transit, it's a good time when you want to like consult people, because you want other people to be kind of like a light for you. Okay, the moon. If you have the moon in this house, that means you're seeking emotional comfort from people. So one way of dealing with that is to have female friends. You could like have a baby or a pet, so you can have that nurturing energy. Or a little trick with the moon in this house is that the moon also represents the public. So you can express your feelings publicly. I have the moon in my house, and this works really well for me. If you want to cry on someone's shoulder, cry publicly, and then the public will be like your mommy. Or if you have a mommy, then you could be best friends with her. Let's see, Mercury, you're going to want to have like clever, talkative friends. You can like just type little messages to and stuff like that. Or you could have like a pet monkey or a dog. Venus, you would want to like have female friends is the main thing. You could like hang out in florist shops, at beauty shops, at makeup counters and clothing stores and coffee bars and pastry shops, like all those lady book clubs and stuff, and make friends there, because you're going to need that type of feminine energy to relate to. If you have Mars, you're going to want to make sure you have male friends. You're going to have friends that you can fight with or curse out, and they won't get all mad about it. You could have friends that you like write aggressive sex to. I want to fuck yeah, like online, as a way of just releasing that Martian energy in a safe way. You could become friends with sexy firemen. Let's see, if you have Jupiter, you're going to want to have rich friends. You know, you could get a job at a cheese shop or something to meet pompous people. You want to be friends with lawyers, you want to be friends with politicians, you want to be friends with fat people, international people. Maybe you could work on a cruise ship and meet people on a cruise ship. You see, whatever planet you have, you want to make sure that social opportunities that align with that planet are built into your life so that you have an outlet and all that energy isn't trapped in your relationship. That's the key. Saturn, you want to go to a nursing home and work, you know, volunteer there, adopt an old person from a nursing home, or adopt a handful of old people, adopt beggars. Or you could be the crusty old person to somebody else, you know, give them like old-timey advice and stuff. Or just adopt old people and adopt beggars, and that's going to improve your luck in relationships. It will improve your luck in romantic relationships because those relationships will no longer have to bear the full brunt of Saturn's energy. And that's also a good idea if you're having Saturn going through this house by transit. Okay, Saturn, Uranus. Uranus, you want to be friends with an astrologer like me. Have an astrologer you can consult on a regular basis about your troubles. You want to be friends with weird people. Like, you need to have, like, anytime you see a person who's diverging from the norm, fucking befriend that person. You need to do this because otherwise Uranus is a very dangerous planet to have in your house of marriage because it gets really restless and one day you're just going to fuck someone up the ass and get divorced. That will happen if you don't take my advice. Same thing as if you're having it with a transit. You'll cheat on your spouse if you don't take my advice of trying to befriend as many weird people as possible. Get yourself an astrologer. You want to be friends with lesbians. You want to join a lesbian motorcycle gang if you can. But the most important thing is just to find as many divergent, weird friends who differ from the norm as possible, because this is one of the more challenging, maybe the most challenging planet to have in your house of marriage, because its unsettled energy does not really lend itself well to marriage. Neptune. If you have Neptune in this house, you want to hang out at bars so you can meet more alcoholics. You need to meet drug users. You need to meet insane people. You need to be friends with musicians, with psychics, with sick people. You can be friends with me. But if you just hang out in a bar and you befriend musicians and alcoholics, you'll pretty much be set. Pluto, it's a challenging one, but you can resolve this if you get a pen pal in a prison. They become friends with a prison, at least one prisoner, maybe more than one prisoner. See if you can have sex with them. I don't know how that works, but if you could have sex with your prison pen pal, then that would pretty much take care of this energy in a safe way. You could also find a psychologist if you can find someone who's truly deep and like truly wants to dig and like make everything really sick and sexual and having to do with your parents, something like that. Otherwise, criminals are the friends for you. So you see, if you like build these less committed relationships into your life to capture this energy, just so when the energy builds up with you, you have someone you can pick up the phone, you can be like, hey, fuck you up the ass, motherfucker, you know, or whatever. Like, oh, hey, want to see these beautiful flowers I bought today? Like, whatever it may be. Just get those people in your life so when the energy is building up in you, you have a safe outlet and it doesn't destroy your marriage. And if you want to know what's in your house of marriage, get in touch with me and I will tell you what you need to do to be safe and happy forever and ever. Thank you. I'm Julian Ackley.